Good afternoon, everyone. This is Senator Bob Menendez. It's my pleasure to join you virtually as the New Jersey Democratic State Committee Latino Caucus hosts this important panel to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. To me, Hispanic Heritage Month is about celebrating communities and the ties that bind them together. Latinos are a family, encompassing 62 million Americans and almost 20% of the total population. We contribute more than $2.8 trillion to the United States economy, comparable to the national GDP of nations like the United Kingdom and India. So in short, the conversation is no longer about whether our time will come. The conversation is about how our time is now. Not only are we are here to stay. After all, as Latinos, we have roots that stretch back farther than the founding of our country. We founded the oldest town in America, St. Augustine's, Florida, thanks to Pedro Menendez de Aviles. We served alongside George Washington in the Revolutionary War and in every conflict of our nation's history since. We've led labor strikes in California to protest unfair working conditions, and we've been nominated and confirmed to the Supreme Court. Today, our fellow Latinos continue to make waves as astronauts, business leaders, and chefs, orchestra conductors, cabinet secretaries, baseball players, artists, and entertainers. In every single way, we have arrived. And thanks to the tireless efforts of those who opened doors, thousands upon thousands are walking through them every day. Granted, it hasn't always been easy. The story of the Latino community is one of overcoming obstacles, of rising above in order to carve out a rightful place in American society. But because we have beaten the odds to come out ahead, we must recommit ourselves to the fight for long overdue immigration reform, one that finally treats immigrants with the dignity they deserve, one that brings our undocumented brothers and sisters out of the shadows and into the light. We fight for a living wage for the Latinos who wake up every morning, often before dawn, to go do work as essential workers. They serve as grocery store clerks, bus drivers, nurses, and dock workers. They are essential to our economy and essential to our community in every single way. And last but not least, we fight for our rightful place at the table where decisions are made. Because, as I often say, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And make no mistake, the days of Latinos being on the menu, of being a community you can take for granted or cast aside, are over. In 2020, we all saw how Latinos showed up in record numbers to vote. Every indication tells us that they will continue to do so in every election to come. And so let me say again that we cannot take Hispanic voters for granted, especially when congressional majorities hang in the balance, especially when we have more and more qualified Latino candidates stepping up to the plate right here in New Jersey and throwing their hats into the ring. As Democrats, we have to show them that we will continue to improve their lives, keep their families together, and create greater economic opportunity for all. We have a solemn responsibility to open as many doors of opportunities for as many of our fellow Americans as possible. That is what we fight for and what I'm proud to do every day as your United States Senator. So once again, thank you to NJDSC for hosting this important panel, and thank you all for joining us in celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. Adelante y muchísimas gracias.